Hello there. Today we're going to talk about the top 5 adventure bike upgrades for the Suzuki DL 1000 Vstrom. Stay tuned. So let's talk about the first thing that I purchased, which is also the first thing on our list, handguards. Now, handguards make the list because they are very important for 2 reasons, and both of them are protecting your hands. The plastic part of this handguard, that protects against the wind. So on the cold spring days, you're gonna want this handguard, keep the wind off your hands and your fingers nice and warm. Now the second part of that, so this metal bar, that protects you from oncoming objects, be that trees, branches, or brush. It's important to get handguards that include this metal bar. Now, some bikes have packages that come from the dealership that are considered off-road or adventure, and a lot of those come with just a plastic handguard. Now, the problem with that is, yes, it will protect you from the wind, but the first time that you drop your bike, it's going to break. Now, I've dropped this one several times, and it's still very solid, so I highly recommend getting handguards that include a metal bar. These ones are actually really cheap, and I got for $30 on eBay. Now, I wouldn't necessarily recommend these ones because the bracket that attaches to the handlebars doesn't have a lot of adjustability in it, so it may not fit quite right, and these bars are actually a little bit higher than I'd like them to be. If I were to do it over again, I would go with the Tusk MX style handguards. Now those are for a 7/8 bar, and for this application, this bike uses a 7/8 bar with like a lot of adventure bikes, so you can get away with an MX style. So you want both, like I said, the plastic and the metal piece. Okay, now let's move on to part number 2. All right, our second upgrade. That would be these pegs by SRC Moto. I really like the design of these because they're not an entire peg. It's simply a topper. So what you do, you pull the rubber insert out of your stock pegs. You can see here the bottom's still in there. Then you take 2 bolts and you bolt in this topper. Now this is really easy to do and it does a lot for you. First thing is it increases the width of this peg. Your stock pegs probably have a rubber stopper in there, and in my case they were about 1 3/4 inches wide. These are nearly 2.5 inches wide, which means you're gonna cut down on midfoot fatigue. And with that, you're gonna be able to ride a lot further and you're gonna be able to stand for a lot longer. So this worked perfectly for my application. The only thing I had to adjust was this gear selector. I had to move it up a little bit so I could get my foot underneath with the increased width of the peg. So keep that in mind. Now, the next thing, those rubber inserts, as soon as they get wet, your foot tries to slide off of them. These stainless teeth are not gonna let go of your feet. And when you're standing on them, like I did for 7 days, you're really gonna enjoy how these feel because your foot's not gonna come off. You can get these from SRC Moto for $68 as compared to a full peg from most manufacturers upwards of $100 to $200. And what's best about that is your peg's gonna fit. You don't have to worry about it not matching up to your bike. So this application is amazing, and it comes for a ton of bikes. So check out SRC Moto and get your bike set up with these peg toppers. Let's jump over to part number 3. Okay, part number 3. That would be a skid plate. Now, I purchased this one specifically from Tech, which is a company out of Thailand. So it does take about a month to get this once you purchase it. And it also is $350, and that includes shipping. So the reason I got this one, extremely heavy duty. The V-Stroms are commonly known for not having a lot of ground clearance, well, among other things, but I don't want to spill oil on the ground if a rock breaks a hole in the case or breaks the oil filter that is just right there underneath the bike and easily exposed to damage. You're going to want a heavy duty skid plate. I recommend Tech if you have a V-Strom. This one connects up to the crash bars, and so the attachment point would be there, and then also back here where it connects to the frame. So these are actually easily removable. You just 2 bolts in the front and then 2 bolts in the back. And you can take this off when you need to service your motorcycle. I highly recommend this product for protection of your investment. All right, let's move on to number 4. Our 4th adventure bike upgrade. These crash bars from Heed Moto out of Poland. As soon as I saw these, I knew that I had to have them. Reason for that is they're matched to the body line here. It just looks so good. Also, it protects a huge amount of the bike. All of this body paneling and then the motor down here, all protected. A lot of the factory Suzuki parts especially only really cover up to about here. I like that these ones cover up high, so that way I'm not worried about damaging any of these plastics, because replacing those actually is kind of expensive. These bars, there's 2 bolts down here that connect 2 attachments to this crash bar frame. In addition to that, you have 2 points where the bars actually connect left and right sides. This is very rigid. This lower bar here, that's where your skid plate attaches. These are pretty universal for skid plates. If you go with the Rave Tech, it will work. I have it on here. I'm not worried about dropping this bike and causing any damage to these plastics or the motor with these bars installed. They are very high quality. I'm really happy with the outcome of these. Now, I got these from Heed, like I said. It does take a little bit of time because they have to ship them from Poland, but they are $230 and it is well worth the investment. Check these out. They have a lot of products for a lot of different adventure bikes. Part number 5. Adventure motorcycle upgrade part number 5. Get yourself a set of bar risers. Now, I've made a previous video about this. I will leave a link right here. We got these from Revzilla. Now, they're made by Zeta and these are 30 millimeters. That is the max that you can put on this motorcycle. Check to see exactly what you can do with yours. If you have a Vstrom, get these. These will reduce back fatigue, improve comfort, and make it easier to access your controls while you're riding. That's adventure motorcycle upgrade number 5. Well, that was it. My top 5 Suzuki DL 1000 Vstrom adventure motorcycle riding upgrades. Now, you know what to do. Like this video and make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on the latest adventure motorcycle riding gear, reviews, how-tos, and we'll even throw in some riding videos.